We're on our third chairman today, but I'm glad to be chairing this. I followed the NIL issue for quite a long time here in Congress. So as my wife, who's in the room with us today, can attest, I'm a college football junkie. And Washington State University, my son and I watched, that's our late night game on the East Coast, especially during the 7 years that Mike Leach was there, rest his soul, and enjoy WSU football. I'll say that I understand that NIL is here to stay, but I'll align myself with some comments Jake Sherman made today in Punch Bowl Sports when he said the ability of college athletes to get paid while they compete has changed the landscape of amateur athletics. And I agree with that. I appreciate the amateurism of college sports at all levels. I say I'm a college football junkie, but I like college sports in general. As the proud elected representative of South Carolina's 3rd Congressional District, I have the distinct honor of representing Clemson University, home to the 2016 and 2018 college football national champions. And I'm glad Buddy Carter isn't here. I don't want to hear about the Georgia Bulldogs. We hear enough of that. Many of our Tigers have gone on to illustrious careers in the NFL. In your written testimonies, Director Chun asked us to develop federal standards that provide transparency and enforceable safeguards to mitigate the negative impact of existing NIL environment. Commissioner Heppel stipulates the need for development of a national standard around NIL rights. Mr. Burton testifies to the need to establish a uniform set of rules with clear guidelines with an eye to pay-to-play issues and recruiting. And Ms. Mudge says that it's imperative that we have uniform guidelines and expectations relative to NIL as opposed to the current framework, and also with an eye towards potential recruiting problems. I think that's remarkable. A current athlete, a former athlete, an athletic director, and a league commissioner in unanimous agreement on the need for a national standard. So, Commissioner Heppel, let me start off with acknowledging something that I think I heard you say, and that is there is a value of a scholarship and the benefits provided by the university to college athletes that is often left out of this debate. They're already getting some value. And as Mr. Burton said, the value of that college degree to go on and even Ms. Mudge to go on to a nursing degree and a career. There's value in that. That needs to be kept in the forefront as we talk about this. I'm afraid that the redistribution of revenues will affect the ability of universities to fund some of the lower tier, they're not, but lower tier athletic programs other than college football, college basketball, and baseball and some sports. Commissioner Heppel, as a league commissioner, what should the standards look like?
Thank you. I think it's the key question. I would say that we have to start with what NIL is not and should not be used as, which is recruiting inducements and pay for play, right, and clearly have regulations that preclude that, which we do now in the NCAA structure. But as you noted, the patchwork of state laws around NIL specifically make that hard to enforce at a national level, and this is national competition.
Look, I agree with you. I mean, the coaches that are recruiting, and now we're going to have alumni participating in that. I came through right after the Charlie Pell years at Clemson University, where recruiting violations by alumni and booster clubs caused us to go on probation right after our national championship. I want to move to Mr. Stahl. The ACC Student Athlete Advisory Committee in its letter of March 28th states, a pay-for-play model will exacerbate the disparities faced in women's sports and historically black colleges and universities, as funds will have to be redirected from non-revenue generating sports to almost entirely football and men's basketball. Even at Power 5 level, roughly half athletic departments run a deficit annually. Directly compensating student athletes will further expose challenges to sustain other sports, potentially forfeiting opportunities for thousands of prospective student athletes in years to come. In essence, the college model must remain unchanged. Congress would do a disservice to student athletes, sports culture, and American society in general if it passes a bill that diminishes the educational opportunities that leave schools no choice but to reduce scholarships or cut programs to budget reallocations. Mr. Stahl, unless you can point to a previously unknown source of funding that keeps these other sports funded as they are today, I'm not willing to kill the aspirations of so many young athletes who don't play football. Can you speak to that?
What is the question specifically?
So, if you're reallocating these funds, how are the softball players, the hockey players, the lacrosse, the track and field, how are they going to be funded? And would this not limit opportunities for student athletes at these universities to have the opportunity to get a scholarship, attend a college, and reap the benefits that Mr. Burton and Ms. Mudge have?
Okay, so there is a levels of play question here for sure, and there is new money coming in. So the media rights contracts that are coming down the pipe now, and all the Power 5 conferences, college football playoff system, we're talking about many, many, many new billions of dollars.
Well, that's Power 5.
That-
Let's go to Dr. Abdullah. How is your university going to navigate all that? My time's way over, but quickly.
I think our university is primarily based on student fees. We're managing it now. We're managing it through NIL, and we believe that transparency will help athletes be able to determine their value.
Okay, thank you. My time's up. I'll go to Mr. Soto from Florida for 5 minutes.